Hello there, you lock-picking lunatics. It's me, lock-picking legend. And at the moment, it's just you, me, and the circle of life. Look at it there, just winding its way around this mortal coil. So before we actually get into some lock-picking, and I'm going to gut it as well, let's have a look and see what they've got to say about the Apex AP cylinder. Hit it! Very nice production quality. This must be a great lock. Wow.
The lock you choose is the single most important feature in keeping your family, your property and your possessions safe.
No, it isn't. How's that going to help your bathroom window getting opened? That is a ridiculous thing to say. I'll tell you what, people, I'll leave a link to a blog. It's an interview with a domestic thief, someone who used to rob houses. And he says a lot of things that will not only surprise you, but might actually help you secure your home in a better way than you might have at the moment. So it's a really interesting blog. I'll leave a link in the description. Anyway, not a good start. First sentence, I wouldn't go as far as to say a lie, but certainly deceptive.
The Apex AP Euro cylinder was designed to withstand all widespread methods of attack used.
All widespread methods of attack. Okay, bear that in mind.
By burglars. Apex AP has undergone rigorous testing and is awarded the highest standards in the lock industry, the Sold Secure Diamond Standard and the BSI Kitemark 3 star. The cylinder's unique design with its double row of active pins and
a double row of active pins, you say? Wow. Well, have a little look at that Kitemark lock. So the thing about this Kitemark lock, this is from the Locksmith magazine, the Locksmith Journal.co.uk. I've actually written for this publication. Oh, hark at him. And I'm not getting at them, but whenever I look into this stuff, like here, TS007 Kitemark, the effective defence against cylinder snapping. And it is, I've said that already, against snapping. But they never really go, whoa, I didn't want that to happen. Amazing. They never really go into the details of what does that Kitemark actually provide. And you get things like this. As awareness of this type of lock attack grows amongst customers, locksmiths have the assurance they can provide an answer based around the Kitemark. And here, a survey demonstrated that the Kitemark is recognised by 82% of the UK, 91% of whom, so what's that, about 75%, 75.5%, I don't know, believe the Kitemark product is of better quality than similar products without the Kitemark. So there will always be strong demand from the end user stroke customer. So it's all a little bit, you know, it's a bit sort of like, well, people trust it, so, you know, it will help you sell them. Now, let's have a look at another publication. Okay, this is from ces.eu. Now, what is the TS007 Kitemark? You'd expect to get an answer. To provide protection to the TS007 standard, the cylinder needs to withstand 5 types of attack: picking, drilling, bumping, snapping, and plug extraction. And I think, in fairness, it will protect against some of those. But as you'll see, definitely not all of those. And there's other issues. I can't find it. I've looked. But I think it's only for a certain amount of time. That sounds reasonable because, you know, obviously you don't expect it to survive someone attacking it for like 5 months. But I think it might be something like 3 minutes. I can't say that for sure. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But I'm sure somewhere, I'm almost sure that I've seen it's something like 3 minutes. But picking, keep watching. I mean, this is from safe.co.uk. And at the top of it, you can't see it because I've trimmed it. It says, buying a new cylinder lock, read our guide. There you go. Buying a new cylinder lock, read our guide. But then the TS007 Kitemark. Here's a sobering statistic. Over 40% of burglaries in England and Wales involve a forced door. And the average time it takes a criminal to break a basic cylinder lock is 1 to 2 minutes. So it's worth making sure your cylinders on any external doors are immune from snapping. Exactly, like the people from Altian said, like I showed you. But here's the one that does me, this is where it gets a little bit dodge. Most, which is vague, kite-marked cylinders will withstand a break-in attempt. Okay, so a non-destructive entry attempt. But the new TS007 3-star standard will protect against every attempt. And then, what do they mean by break-in? Non-destructive entry or every attempt? It's kind of, it's kind of vague. And we've already seen elsewhere they talk about picking. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
A restricted profile key allows for more than 180,000 effective differs.
Effective differs? What is that? Variations, perhaps? Effective differs. Incredible articulation.
Significantly increasing the lock's tolerance. A number of anti-pick pins are designed specifically to prevent the cylinder from picking.
Oh yeah, I mean spool pins, they're a nightmare. I mean, no one's picked a spool pin ever. Oh look, there's 4 in this lock. Oh, I'll be here for hours or minutes, possibly seconds.
One of the most popular methods of lock manipulation. In addition, a set of drivers and steel anti-drill pins in the barrel secure the cylinder from drilling.
Now, they will. If they're decent, if they're made out of the right stuff, they will prevent a drill from working. And also, the camel seize up, which is why you also can't use a plug puller on these sorts of locks.
Highly destructive method of attack. The cylinder has not 1 but 2 anti-bump features. Not only is it extremely difficult to force the trap pins into the empty chambers of a...
That's an anti-bump feature, is it? It's difficult to bump a trap pin into the cylinder. Okay.
Bumping key, but the cylinder is also...
Hang on, did he just say bumping key? I mean, it's always reassuring when they're not quite on the ball with the vernacular. Check out bumping key.
Difficult to force the trap pins into the empty chambers of a bumping key, but the cylinder is also fitted with a steel frame which stops the tumblers from being pushed above the shear line if the plug is struck by lock bumping tools.
Hang on, so I get that. There's 4 sliders there. You know that funny little groove you get down the side of your key? Well, that moves these sliders in and out to the right position so that the core can turn. But I'm not sure if you were to bump this lock and you'd ping those key pins, the momentum would carry through them like Newton's cradle. We talked about that in the last video. And it would hit the driver pins. They'd go above the shear line. How the hell does that bar falling down on the sliders prevent you from bumping it? I'm not saying it won't, I just don't know how it does. Because if you bumped it, maintained that position and then independently picked the sliders, surely it would open. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'd be happy to be proved wrong. If anyone knows what I'm getting wrong or what I'm missing, please put it in the comments. But that just seemed like gibberish to me.
The external and internal bodies are connected with high-strength carbon steel cam protection block, ensuring the cylinder resists lock snapping and plug extraction. In the event of snapping or plug extraction, the external side breaks at the sacrificial cut.
Now, you know, this is what they should go with. They should outright just say, people don't pick locks to break into your house. What you're most likely going to get is someone coming along using a snapper. And if you've got a sacrificial cut that will seize up the cam, you know, it will prevent that technique. I think Ultian done it. I think I'll see if I can dig that video out and I'll drop it in now.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Research tells us that criminals don't pick locks, even though almost every lock can be picked. I'm going to show you why that is.
There you go,
Here we
snapper.
see a door with a normal lock, snapped
Mole
and opened in
grips.
just 9 seconds.
Same thing.
This next film shows a new Ultian 3-star plus lock being picked. This is a very experienced lock picker, Lock Noob.
Oh, bloody hell, we'll be here all night.
He's picked hundreds, if not thousands, of locks.
Tell me about it.
And he too says that burglars aren't breaking into homes by picking locks, they're breaking them.
Yeah, we'll just speed this up a bit.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
This is the far cry from real life. From the pressures of committing a crime, being on your knees at someone's door and hoping no one sees you, wondering if you've got the right tools for the job, and never sure if you're going to manage it.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad he sped that up. Sorry, Lock Noob, you're good stuff, mate.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Look at the video now. Look at his fingers, how they're strained.
He's digging you right out, Lock Noob. Look how strained his fingers are.
He knows where to press. He knows where to add the extra pressure.
And clearly not.
No.
Come on, son. I've got a video to make. Oh, Jesus.
This guy's got skills, but
Don't look like it. He has. I'm only pulling his piddle.
even with all the knowledge, training and years of experience, know what to feel for, where to feel for it, when to add pressure,
It sounds like he's going to a brothel.
No.
when to reverse the pressure, when to bring more tools in. It still takes way too long to expect a burglar to consider adopting picking over snapping.
And that's my point. Let's get back to the video. Now, if you didn't just see a video, I couldn't find it. But if you did, if I remember it rightly, that's the way to go. Be honest. Because, you know, this video has just seemed, you know, it's marketing, it's advertising, I get that. But it's very unconvincing. If you tell the truth, I think people respond to that well. And a sacrificial cut and a seizing cam system, I'm sure it's got a better name than that. You know, that's what you need.
Triggering the interlocking pin mechanism and pushing the inner clutch into the cam,
That's what I meant by seizing cam system.
locking it in place. Once the locking mechanism is engaged, it prevents further external damage and manipulation of the cam, while simultaneously allowing the lock to be operated from the inside.
Which is actually handy, obviously, in the event of a fire or just getting out your front door if someone snaps your lock.
In case of an emergency. The Apex AP also comes with key copy protection. Only the warranty card holder can order a key duplicate.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like that, because that's always worked in the case of restricted duplication. I've never seen keys duplicated without the card. Sure. I mean, nice intentions. I'm not actually quite sure what security that adds to the lock. It adds a lot of hassle getting a new key cut, but there you go. I suppose it's a bit of upselling on the part of the lock manufacturer. Bit more money for them.
With its incomparable security features,
Oh, right. Anti-pick. Yeah, we're going to have a look at that.
the Apex AP has been stamped with the MLA Sold Secure Diamond Standard and the BSI Kitemark 3-star grade.
Yeah, which we've looked at. Now, the MLA, the Master Locksmith Association, I won't hear a bad thing said about them.
No.
I think this will reduce crime. I do, because it's got a sacrificial brake and a seizing cam, and people do snap locks to try and get in houses. So, yep, that's fair enough. But I'm looking at that anti-pick in the bottom left.
In addition, we offer a 5-year guarantee, which is a measure of confidence in the reliability of our product.
Yeah, check the small print out on that. Nice video. Let's have a look at the lock.
Legendary.
So here we go. Here's the actual lock. Yeah, the one from the video. Got me hands on one. Dimple lock. Oh, it's got all the writing. It's got the Kitemark. There it is. Beautiful. Pop it in the vise. It's like seen better days. That's all about right. See that nicely. So I'll put links to it. There's the key. They are quite heavy bitting, and you can see that slider there down the side. They are. That's all working nice. Oh. I'll put links to all these products I use in the description if you're interested. Got an extended top wrench in here, about 15mm longer. Quite handy. Very handy for dimple locks. But look at the tension I put on this. Look. Everyone says, look at that. Look. Everyone says just a little bit of tension. Well, that's loads. Well, here we go. That's pin 1. Pin 2 set. Pin 3 set. Pin 4 set. And come on. I think that's... Is that set? That's set. Jesus. Nearly took my hand off. Alright, so now I've got to work on the sliders. So I've got here a slightly modified, it's from the same set of dimple picks, but I've just, and there's not a lot of room to get in here. Hang on. Here I've got this. This is just what's this? 18 thousandths of an inch modified. I just took the hook off it. I'm just trying to get a bit of, I'm essentially jiggling the sliders here. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting in that little bit of space. You know, they're sprung, and I'm just seeing if I can essentially jiggle them. But I'm having a bit of trouble getting behind them, to be honest with you. Oh, that's... I mean, there's no false gates in these, or I'd be in trouble already. I'd have... How about... trying back with this boy, bad boy. Come on, son. No, they're not. Come on. Ay, oy. But you know, all these pins are set. So remember what they said about bumping? They said about that thing falling down. I've got to say, these are tight old sliders though. And you know, when you see a slide bar on a key or a lock, don't let the marketing fool you. You know, you've just got to find the solution to the problem. And if it's bitch picking, which is essentially what I'm doing here, then do it. And I know it works because I've done it before. I've taken a little bit of tension off, but of course if I take too much tension off, I'm going to lose some of my set pins. But I'd have expected to have had some joy by now. I mean, this is a decent lock. The problem I've got is with all their nonsense marketing. I've got a thinner adapted pick here. There's a little bit more space there. Oh, that's the problem I was having, getting in behind there. Oh, yoy. I've also got a thinner adapted hook. This is 15 thousandths of an inch. And that's exactly what I was after. Legendary. So there you go. I mean, as I was saying, this is actually a decent lock. But don't say it's anti-pick when you can pick it. That don't make any sense. Let's rip this thing open and see what she's made of.
That's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Okay, got my pinning mat out, got the lock, taking it apart. Sacrificial cut. Seized cam system, clutched into action. Where's my lock disassembly kit? Gonna need that. My plug followers. And while I am still talking, chances are by the time this makes it to the video, I'll fast forward it. But it will be nice to see what we've got inside here. In the video there was 4 spool pins. Now, I didn't feel any. I mean, obviously this isn't the lock they based the wrong, that ain't, yeah. Let's try this. There you go. Now obviously this isn't the lock that they based the video on, but I didn't get... Now, I might not have got any counter rotation from the spool pins because of the amount of tension I was putting on it, you know. I mean, maybe I was just, I was brute force tensioning it. There's your sliders, look. There's those. You can see there, they've got that room for the lateral movement. There's the little bar that comes down on them. Well, not on them, but they allow to move and lock it up.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So I've got all the key pins out there, but it's the drivers I'm more interested in. It's the, I felt no spools. So we've got a standard on 1. We've got, we've got a spool, there you go, a spool on 2, didn't feel that, no counter rotation. Again, that could have been the a spool on 3, just jumped out at me. Felt no counter rotation on that. Again, I was putting so much tension on it, I'm thinking I might have binded 3 or 4 pins, but there's something we can do to check. Oh, what am I doing here? Come on, been awake too long. Standard on 4. Last one, and standard on 5. So just the 2 spools, but if I had to guess without gutting this lock, I'd have said there was no spool pins. That is peculiar. We all know about counter rotation. I'll put a link to my counter rotation video here in the top right, so you can have a look at that. And you should if you don't know about counter rotation and security pins. But you didn't hear me mention those when I was picking it. Standard dimples for the key pins. But, 2 spool pins in the drivers. Now, I'm going to try something out here. I don't want those sliders to fall out. So, what I'm going to do is pop a couple of key pins into 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5. Now you'll see why I'm doing that. Here's the spool pin. Look, see, the key pin is cut too deep for that to work as a spool pin. Do you see what I'm saying? But 3 wasn't. So 2 was cut too deep. That spool pin was just like a standard pin. because the spool, the cutaway bit, didn't feature. It didn't have a chance to get caught between the shear line. But number 3, I'm perplexed. Anyone in the comments can help me out with that. I'd love to know. I'd find that very interesting. To make that more clear, because I think this is actually an interesting point, and I haven't come across this before. Look at this little very crude 12-year-old's drawing of a plug. See the spool pin in chamber 2, yeah, pin stack 2. Notice how the spool, the pin, sorry, the key pin is cut too shallow for the spool pin to work as a spool pin. Can you see that? Because the actual spool part of it is never going to get caught in the shear line, because the length of the key pin has already pushed that part of it above the shear line. So, I mean, it's crude but effective. Nearly there, people, but I just wanted to show you one of these sliders. There they are. You can see on that lock the 4 o'clock across the top there, and there it is. Now let's get to some still images. So there's your slider, of which in this lock there's 4. Nothing to be scared of. If you look at the right hand side of that, you'll see the curve, and that's what has to match up with the curve of the core or the plug in the lock. There's no false gates. The cutaway bit at the top is what the bar drops down into, which allows it to turn. And on the left hand side of what you're looking at is where it's sprung. And so all I'd done essentially was, because I had my tension on, I've got that that modified picking, that 15 foul, and just jiggled them until the bar fell into place and the plug turned. And there you have it. Good Lord, it's been about half an hour. I hope you learnt something. I thoroughly enjoyed ripping this lock apart and having a look at it all. If you've got any questions, ask someone else. A thumbs up is really appreciated. I'm trying to build a channel in a saturated market. I do try and offer something different to the old lock picking videos. Subscribe is also wonderful. Look after yourselves, and there'll be another video next week. Ta-ta!
Legendary.
No.
That reminds me, I should really be getting some exercise done. I think I'll just watch a bit more so that I know how to do it right. So it's up, down, up, down, push, push, push. Yeah, I think I'll start that tomorrow.